Welcome to Chatting the Pictures. My name is Cara Finnegan, and I'm a writer, teacher, and historian of photography.
And I'm Michael Shaw. I'm a writer, a psychologist, and also the publisher of Reading the Pictures.
Since the start of the Russian invasion, the Ukrainian president has addressed many of the world's top governing bodies without ever leaving his office. Whether in person or virtual, few political appeals have ever loomed larger.
This photo was taken by Sarah Silbiger and distributed by EPA-EFE. In it, we see Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky being introduced by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi before delivering a video address to members of Congress on March 16, 2022. It was the first virtual address to that body by a foreign head of state.
This photo really gives us the Zoom era on steroids, doesn't it? We've all become really experienced with video calls as the result of the pandemic. But Zelensky's grand video tour really highlights the extent to which these events can constitute pretty powerful diplomacy. I really think we need to understand this event, the speech, and others he did in Great Britain, Canada, and elsewhere as image events. Spectacles that are carefully designed to draw attention to Ukraine's situation and to make both a visual and a rhetorical case for global support.
I love this shot among so many others that were taken in the U.S. and around the world. It's incredible theater the way he and Pelosi, in this case, seem to be physically reacting to one another. The fact her hand is raised and breaks the plane of the video, so it seems like she's there. And then with him making the appeal and his country experiencing such dire circumstances, the way he looks at her, looking down with almost a benevolent look, seems to also cast him, not just virtually, but emotionally, as such an outsized figure.
Visually, Zelensky's appearance is so key to his whole approach to communicating with the rest of the world. The t-shirt, the kind of military style, which has now itself become iconic, the unshaven face, the neutral background, but one that's dominated by the Ukrainian flag. He's really pictured himself all along as someone who doesn't have time for the formalities. He's also appearing on the giant screen as a lone figure. So it's almost like literally and figuratively, he has become larger than life. And it's that kind of global scale of his iconic presence that has really given Ukraine an edge in this conflict.
And I think that Zelensky really has mastered the art of this visual communication. Toward the end of the talk, he switched to English and directly addressed President Biden and the need for more weapons and the appeal for a no-fly zone. That's pretty savvy. On top of that, he also presented what was a really intense and graphic video of violence and Ukrainian victims with a focus on children. It's very interesting how this technology and this way of presenting yourself also creates other dynamics for the media. And in this case, there was a lot of images that really not only focused on Zelensky and a lot of really powerful body language, but you also see these scenes that emphasize the audience and really makes the legislators a captive audience.
Zelensky's also appealing to members of Congress by really grounding his speeches in strategies that are really built on the idea of trying to construct identification with certain audiences. In his speech, Zelensky invoked 9/11. When he spoke to the British Parliament, he paraphrased Winston Churchill. So, as you said, Zelensky knows exactly what he's doing, and he is extremely skilled, both visually and rhetorically, at getting his arguments out there into the global public sphere.